I got a new book. Junie B. Jones by Barbara Park. First grader at last. Oh, see, she's got a journal for first grade. I know somebody's going into first grade. He's going to be great. That's my grandson, Elijah. You are going to be great. Very best first grader on earth. Look, I forgot on the other book, the Aloha. I forgot to show you all the characters. Let's see. This is Mr. Scary. That's Junie B. This is Tattletale May. I believe that's Herb. Herb. And then Lenny. Jose. That's Jose. Sheldon. I can't read upside down. Shirley here on the end. And then we got Lucille. Right here, Lucille. Roger. He's got freckles like me. And then we got twins, Camille and Chenille. These two are twins. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, so she's going into the first grade. Come in, Maggie, sit down. We got 8 chapters on this book. So, the first chapter is First Grade Surprises. She's writing in her journal. Ooh. All right, let's see what she writes. Thursday. Dear first grade journal. Yesterday was the first day of school. It is new here. Today my teacher handed out these journals. He's making us write in these dumb things. Only I don't even know what to write. My teacher has some muscles and a mustache. His name is Mr. Scary. He made that name up, I believe. I'm not even scared of him, hardly. From Junie B, first grader. Oh, I remember my first grade. I started to learn how to read. I was in a Catholic school full of nuns. They had no teachers. The nun taught us for, oh my gosh, years. And I had so much fun. I put down my pencil and I looked at what I wrote. I did a sigh. I would like to go home now. I said to myself. She just got there. Shh, said a girl named May. I'm still trying to do my work. She's like, like they got a picture of her shushing her. And that's Mr. Scary. Oh my gosh. May sits next to me in the back of the room. I do not actually care for that girl. Just then, my teacher stood up at his desk. His mustache smiled real friendly. Okay, boys and girls, you can stop writing now, he said. As I told you earlier, we will be working in our journals quite often this year. In fact, it won't be long until your journal starts feeling like an old friend. I remember my kids used to do that in school. Yeah, I remember. And they would bring it home and I would get to read it. It was so much fun. I think I still have some of those. I rolled my eyes at the ceiling. What kind of an old friend looks like a dumb notebook, I said. Shh, May said again. You shouldn't talk while the teacher is talking, Junie Jones. I looked at her real annoyed. B, I said. My name is Junie B. I think I've mentioned that to you before, May. I leaned closer to her face. B, 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 I said. After that, I slumped in my seat and I put my head on my desk. I picked at the other children who sat near me. Their names are Herb, Lenny, and Jose. I do not know them from a hole in the ground. I did another sigh. First grade is not what it's cracked up to be. My room is named Room 1. I was nervous when I came here yesterday. Yeah, 'cause it's new. But you're gonna have so many adventures. That's how come Daddy had to carry me all the way to the room. My legs felt like squishy jello. Oh no. He put me down outside the door. Well, here we are, Junie B, he said. First grade at last. My stomach had butterflies in it. Also, my arms had prickly goosebumps. My forehead had drops so sweaty. Oh, I am a wreck, I said. Daddy smiled, very nice. There's nothing to worry about, Junie B, I promised. He said, you're going to love first grade. Just think, there's a whole room full of brand new friends just waiting to meet you. He ruffled my hair. Well, if I ruffle I don't have much hair. But are you ready to go in now? He asked. Are you ready to begin your first grade adventure? I looked at him for a long time. Then I quick spun around and I zoomed down the hall as fast as I could. Daddy zoomed after me. He caught me up speedy quick. He carried me back to my class. Only this time he carried me straight into the room. Oh my goodness. As soon as he put me down again, I hid behind his legs. That's normal to be nervous, but it's so much fun, I promise. 'Cause that place was a zoo, I tell you. There were people everywhere. There were boys and girls and mothers and daddies and grandmas and grandpas. Plus also there were drooly babies in strollers. Then all of a sudden my whole mouth came open. Because good news, I finally saw someone I knew. Great. I jumped up and down on all around. Daddy, it's Lucille, I hollered. Remember Lucille? Lucille was my bestest friend from kindergarten last year. Lucille was standing at the desk next to the window. What are you doing, Maggie? What are you doing? Don't eat the toy. I ran to her in a jiffy. Then I hugged that girl. I couldn't even stop. Lucille, it's me. It's your bestest friend from kindergarten, Junie B. Jones. I tried to pick her up. Oh my goodness. I am so glad to see you, friend, I shouted, real joyful. Lucille put my arms off her. Stop it, Junie B, stop it, she said. You're wrinkling my new back-to-school dress. Oh, no. This thing cost a fortune. Oh. I stopped hugging her. Lucille smoothed and fluffed herself. I smoothed and fluffed her too. There, I said, good as new. After that, I grabbed Lucille's hand and I started to pull. Come on, Lucille, let's go find two desks together, I said. I think we should sit near the door. Want to, huh? If we sit near the door, we can stare at people who walk down the hall. Lucille yanked her hand away. No, Junie B, no. I'm going to sit at this desk right here, she said. I already picked it out with my new two friends, Camille and Chanel. Oh, no. She pointed at the door. Oh, she's not going to be happy about that. See them over there, she said. I met them before you came. They were saying goodbye to their mother. Are they precious? Oh, she's going to have new friends and she's not going to be with Junie B. She's going to feel alone. Let's see what happens. I looked at Camille and Chanel, and guess what? My eyes popped right out of my head. Because, wow, those girls were twins. That's why I sprang way high in the air. Twins! They're twins, Lucille. It's our lucky day. I pulled on her again. Come on, Lucille, let's go touch them. Why'd you want to go touch them? Oh my gosh, like they're just not people? Oh man. Hurry, before a line forms. A line! Lucille did not budge a muscle. Stop it, Junie B. Quit pulling on me, she said. Camille and Chanel don't want to be touched. Besides, I am their new best friend, not you. I looked surprised at that girl. Yes, but I can be their bestest friend along with you, right, Lucille? I asked. All I have to do is meet them, right? And then all of us can be bestest friends together. Lucille shook her head. No, Junie B. Oh, no, poor Junie B. I'm sorry. You and I have already been best friends, remember? She said. We were best friends for a whole long year. Like, that's such a long time. And so now it's time for Camille and Chanel to get a turn. She did a shrug. It's only fair of me, she said. Besides, their names rhyme with my name, and yours doesn't. She wrinkled her nose very cute. Camille and Chanel and Lucille. See, isn't that darling? After that, Lucille gave me a pat. Don't be sad, okay? She said. You and I can still be friends, Junie B. Just not on a regular basis. Oh, she's changing the rules. After that, she waved her fingers and said, ta-da! She skipped to Camille and Chanel. Oh, water. More surprises plus herb. I think you say herb, right? Or herb. No, herb you eat. Mother and Daddy keep trying to cheer me up about first grade. Mother says sometimes life has disappointments in it. Daddy says sometimes you have to roll with the punches. I said first grade is a flop. Last year I had two bestest friends. First I had Lucille, plus also I had that Grace. Me and that Grace rode the school bus together every single day. Only too bad for us because this year, Grace got put in a different room than me. That was not even fair. But hooray, hooray! Me and Grace still decided to ride the bus together. Because that's what friendship is, I think. And so last week, both of us sat next to each other, just like we always did. Only, what do you know? Monday morning, Grace got on the bus with a new girl from her class. Oh no. Those two plopped down in the seat right in front of me. I quick jumped up and I tapped Grace's head. Grace! Excuse me, Grace. What kind of shenanigans do you call this? Madam, didn't you see me sitting here? Grace waved at me real friendly. Yes, hi, Junie B, she said. I'm sorry I can't sit with you today. I promised Bobby Jean Piper I would sit with her this morning, okay? I stamped my foot. No, Grace, not okay. You can't sit with Bobby Jean Piper. I said, you and I had to sit together every single day. Because we sat together every day last year, and this year shall be no different. She's getting upset. Just then Mr. Wu, the bus driver, closed the bus door. He looked in his mirror at me. Sit down, please, Junie B, he said. Bobby Jean Piper pointed and grinned. You got yelled at, she said, kind of mean. I made a scary face at that girl. Grr. I said, Bobby Jean Piper. Behind me, I heard a loud laugh. I quick spun around. And guess what? It was Herb who was sitting in front of me in room 1. Herb, I said, real surprised. I didn't even know that you rode this bus. Herb kept on laughing. You said girl, he laughed. Girl, ha ha. That's a good one. It's even that funny. I wrinkled my eyebrows at that boy. Yeah, only here's the problem, Herbert, I said. Girl, it's not actually a joking matter. Plus, I wasn't even talking to you. Herb, quit laughing. I know you weren't talking to me, he said. No one on this bus ever talks to me. Oh my gosh. That's because last year I went to a different school. She's barking. Boy. So I don't have any bus friends yet. Just then the bus stopped at the next corner. Herb came around the seat and sat next to me. Oh. Maybe just for today I can sit here, he said. Just until you get your bus friends back, I mean. That's so sorry for him. Oh my gosh. I tapped on my chin, very thinking. Then all of a sudden I raised my voice very loud. Why, sure you can sit here, Herbert, I said. You can sit here forever if you want to, because I used to have a bus friend named Grace. Oh, God. But today I am dropping her like a hot tomato. Bobby Jean Piper picked over the seat at me. You mean potato? I sprung up again. Bobby Jean Piper, where's the diaper? I holler. Oh no! Mr. Wu frowned in the mirror. Sit down, Junie B, he grouched. I sat down. Then I did a big breath. I looked at her. Today is not off to a good start, I said. Kind of quiet. Herb nodded. I hear you, he said. I was slumped in the seat. Oh my goodness. They're not having a good time. Alright. I had to see what Maggie wanted. I slumped way down in my seat. My bestest friends are dropping like flies, I said. Herb nodded. Join the club, he said. First grade is a flop, I said. Herb nodded. Totally. I looked out the window. Rrr, I said. Rrr, said Herb. I smiled to just myself. I think I might like this Herb. Oh my goodness. Chapter 3. Stumped. Chapter 3. Me and Herb walked to room 1 from the bus. He waved to Mr. Scary. Then I waved too. I'm not even scared of that teacher, hardly. I said that to just myself. We kept on walking to our seats. May was already sitting at her desk. She was organizing her pencil box. Lenny was at his desk too. Only, where did you hear this? I didn't even recognize that guy, almost. Because Lenny had a thrilling new haircut, that's why. It was pointish and spikish and stiffish and straightish fish. Straightish. Oh, Lord. That hair can puncture you, I think. Whoa, I said. Cool, said Herb. Jello, said Lenny. Shh, said May. Just then Jose came hurrying down the road. He was rushing real fast, 'cause the bell was almost ready to ring. Hola, everyone, he said, out of breath. Hola, hola! Me and Herb and Lenny looked curious at him. Jose grinned. Whoops, he said. Hola means hello in Spanish. I know 2 different languages. And sometimes I forget which one I'm speaking. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. We speak Spanglish. Oh boy. Okay. Wow, Jose, I said. You really speak 2 languages. Cool, said Herb. Big deal, said May. I know Spanish too. I can count all the way to 3. In Spanish. Does anyone want to hear me? The rest of us looked at each other. Not really, said Herb. Not me, said Lenny. Me neither, said Jose. Oh my goodness. Here we go. May didn't pay attention to us. Uno, dos, tres, she said real loud. I leaned nearer to her. Shh, I said. Then everyone laughed and laughed, but not May. Pretty soon the bell rang for school. Mr. Scary got our morning started. First he took attendance of the children. Then we said, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Plus also, we listened to boring bulletins from the office. Finally, Mr. Scary walked to the chalkboard and he printed a list of words. Boys and girls, he said, this morning I have a fun assignment for you. He winked at us. That was a horrible wink. And pointed to the list. I want you to read these words to yourselves, he said. Then, without talking to your neighbor, choose any word from the list and draw a picture of it in your journal. Ooh, that sounds like fun. May squealed very thrilled. Oh, goody, goody, she said. I love this kind of assignments, Mr. Scary. I am perfect at not talking to my neighbor. After that, she quick took a pencil out of her box. She started to draw. I stared at the words. Then I tapped on my chin and I scratched my head. Because I didn't actually get this assignment, that's why. I said, I glanced my eyes at Herb and Lenny and Jose. All of them were drawing too. I looked back at the board again. Then I stretched my neck as far as it could go. And I squinted my hardest. Those words had me stumped, I tell you. Finally, I reached out to Herb real secret. I tapped it on his back. Finally, I said, Psst, Herb, I whispered. Great question. Which word are you drawing? May did a loud gasp. She jumped up from her seat and pointed at me. Mr. Scary! Mr. Scary, Junie Jones is talking to her neighbor. See her? Oh, Tarateo. She's talking to Herbert, and that is against the rules. I turned my head. Blabber lips. Blabber lips, May. Mr. Scary looked back at us. His mustache was not smiling. I did a gulp. Then I quickly opened my journal and I started to draw. Chapter 4. Clocks. Don't know what that is. We drew and drew in our journals. Mr. Scary waited until all of us were done. Then he walked around the room. He looked at everyone's pictures. He gave out shiny gold stars. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, can you see me okay? Tell me, can you see me? Okay. Oh, gosh. First, he gave stars to Camille and Chenille. What great-looking dogs you drew, girls, he said. Look at those floppy ears. Lucille raised her hand. Look at mine, teacher, she said. I drew a cat with pointy ears. See? My rich Nana has an expensive cat just like this. Its fur is a foot thick almost. Mr. Scary looked strange at her. Really, Lucille? A whole foot of fur? That's a lot. I mean, that's like... Woo! Alright. Mr. Scary looked strange. My, he said. He gave her a gold star and moved on. He went to a boy named Roger. Roger was in the same class as me last year. Excellent job, Roger, Mr. Scary said. You drew a man wearing a coat. The words man and coat were both on the board, weren't they? I did a little frown, because none of these words were actually sounding familiar. After that, Mr. Scary walked to Sheldon and Shirley. Cool bat and ball, Sheldon, he said. And Shirley, you drew a bat and ball too, didn't you? I put my head on my desk. Something was very wrong here. Finally, Mr. Scary got to May. Oh, May, he said. What a special clock you drew. The big hand has 5 fingers. That's very unusual. Yes, said May. I created it myself. Plus clock was the hardest word up there. Wasn't it, Mr. Scary? I am the only one who even knew the word clock, I bet. Just then my stomach felt sickish inside. I quick closed my journal and stuffed it in my desk. Mr. Scary saw me. Junie B, he said, don't you want to show me your drawing? Don't you want to go start for today? I shook my head real fast. Nope. No, thank you. No, I don't. No, not today. I really don't care for a ghost today. Thank you for asking. She's great. Mr. Scary kept on standing there. The end, I said. He did not budge. Please move along, I said. Finally, Mr. Scary bent down next to me. He lowered his voice so no one could hear. I'm sorry, Junie B, but I really like to see what you drew. He said, I need to make sure that you understood the assignment. Then before I knew it, he took my journal out of my desk. He gave it to me to hold. She's wearing pajamas? What the heck is that? Oh, gosh. She looks like she was wearing her pajamas to school. After that, he walked me into the hall. He let me show him my drawing in private. Guess what? He liked it, I think. Oh, wow, look at that, Junie B, he said. You drew a wonderful picture of he kept on looking. A screaming chicken. I need water. A screaming chicken, I said finally. Mr. Scary did a strange face. Yes, right, he said. It's a screaming chicken. I said again. I pointed at the chicken's mouth. See how it's screaming, Clark, Clark, Clark. She got the word confused with clock. she wrote clock as in like a clock. I used capital letters for the clocks. Capitals are for screaming, correct? Well, yes, I suppose so, said Mr. Scary. But the thing is, Junie B, the word clock wasn't on the board today. I know it, I said. The word on the board was clock. C-L-O-C-K. That's clock. It tells the time. Only I didn't read all the letters right, I guess. Because I accidentally thought it was cluck with C-L-U-C-K. Like, cluck. That's a good chicken. I tapped on my chin. What I actually wanted to draw was the butt and bull. The butt and bull. I really like the sound of that one. I didn't know how to get started exactly, so I went ahead with the clock idea. Mr. Scary looked confused. The butt and bull. he asked. I smiled, kind of embarrassed. Yeah, well, I read those words wrong too, I guess. They turn out to be bat and ball. Mr. Scary frowned. What about the other words on the board, Junie B? Do you remember how to read some of the other ones? How about dog and cat? Or coat and goat? I thought back. Then I made my voice real quiet. Dug and cut? Coot and jute? I said. Mr. Scary nodded his head. Then he patted my hand very nice. He gave me back my journal. He walked back into room 1. I think she's having trouble reading. We're going to stop here and then we're going to go on to chapter 5 on the next video. But stay tuned to see because I think she's having trouble reading. So maybe Mr. Scary is going to help her with that. Okay? So stay tuned for the next video. She's so funny.